everyone. Hello?
You literally just started recording?
Yeah, come in.
Sorry, I just thought of something and I wanted to double check video. You had a couple of things go out today.
I must see. You just turn this off.
Oh.
Yeah. Hello everyone. It is cold. Ugh. November 22nd. Now I've been watching Ash's videos, Ash and Marie, Lost in Europe. For those that know him, been watching his videos in Sweden. I don't know how they manage. I don't know how they manage with them temperatures because I'm cold here. And what temperature is it? It feels really cold here. It's like it's approaching freezing at night, but Ash is doing -15 right now. That's whew. No, anyway. But because it is getting cold, I am going to order a diesel heater. I'm going to order a diesel heater for my workshop. Pros and cons of the all-in-one unit. I'd like to buy the all-in-one unit because it's compact, simple to install, just a couple of holes for the exhaust. I can just sit it in the corner. Yeah, so I'm gonna get one of them, order one of them soon. Anywho, I'm gonna carry on working. I'm gonna build a shelf underneath this desk now. A little cutout for your knees to go in. And I'm also thinking about this corner here. This corner is just unorganized chaos right now. It's got my pressure washing gear in that corner and I don't know whether to keep it because I will have all my annual customers, my pressure washing customers, ring me up in the new year, springtime, and want all their stuff, patios and driveways cleaned again, so I probably should keep it. But it's big and bulky and in the way, so I also thought about building a desk over there, a bench over there as well. But I paid extra to get double doors on this shed, so I've got 2 doors over there. I thought, when I ordered it, I thought, yeah, you could open them up and just get massive sheet material down into it. But it's pretty pointless of me building a another workbench that side if. So I won't be able to use the second door. I mean, I don't use the second door at the minute anyway, but I will do eventually. So a solution, because the bench would be in the way, there's no point having the double door. Anyway, the solution I just thought of was to have a shelf that folds down, a table like this that folds down from that wall, so you can fold it down either on chains or temporary feet that just clip into the bottom of it. Which I'm probably going to do. I'm probably going to do that. Just fold down workbench that side, and you can fold it up if it was in the way. That's a good idea, I thought. Let's show you a bit closer. Yeah, so it's a bench that goes folds down to the same height as this. It would be a good idea to have one next to it as well that folds down as well, just to the same height, because when I'm using the table saw, if I wheel it out to the middle, if this bench here was the same height, then I could run big sheets of wood along this side bench and this bench. Yeah, I think that's going to be handy. So I think this shed is basically made up of 3 sections, 3 4-feet sections, 4, 8, 12 feet, 3 4-feet sections. So in that section and this section are going to both have fold down tables. This back section is just going to be left open for storing sheet materials and whatnot. But I think that is a good idea. But for this video, I don't know, just going to potter around with some shelving under here. And I need to go and buy some more wood so I can build my table saw wheelie cupboard thing. Let's do something. So this piece of wood There's going to be a lower shelf below this bench going that way, and there'll be a cutout like something like that for your knees to go in when you're sat at this desk. To do that, I need to firstly make things under there for this to sit on. More pocket holes. This is an old drill. Keeps coming out. Gonna have to get bicycle screws soon. Right, so I think I've made enough supports for the shelf. Let me show you what's going on under here. Put the light on. I put this beam in here for part of the shelf. I put that in there, and I put that in there. That's all I'm going to need. There's not going to be a lot of weight on this shelf. I've done it for the rest of this, and it's all really sturdy. So yeah, I'm thinking. I know I should have done it first, but yeah, I am thinking about insulating the shed workshop. Should have done it first, but I wasn't sure. Not for warmth, but maybe for sound, to keep it a bit, to stop annoying neighbours or waking up the baby so often. I think I'm going to have to insulate it. Certainly the ceiling and the top half. That also keep the heat in as well. Just buy a load of polystyrene. Just chuck that all in there. But I like it. I like all the wood. I like all the wood showing. Put polystyrene in, it's all white. If I put Kingspan in, it's all silver, and then I like it as it is. Right, so I think I've measured and drawn everything that I need to cut out. This, and this piece here is my cutout for the knees, for my knees when you sit under there. I'm going to cut all these little bits out and try and squeeze it in there. Okay, it's taken me all day juggling babies and whatnot to get that done. Let me show you what we're up to. God, one shelf is taking so blooming long. So yeah, under here. Because I cut notches out so it goes around the shed pillars. And yeah, here's my cutout for my knees. That's very tidy. The chair kind of tucks over that as well, so that's my little stool. I need to do the same there, shelf with a little cutout there so I can sit there as well if I want. I'm probably going to put a vise somewhere here, not sure. Anyway, right. Calling it a day because it's dark. 6 o'clock, don't want to make any more noise. Alright, well, see you later. Hi everyone, so this week I've been working on this VW here. It's a very smart VW. I'll blur that number plate out. Anyway, the whole electrics needed to be ripped out and replaced. It wasn't yeah, it wasn't safe, but it's starting to take shape now. So this is a classic VW sort of layout with a rock and roll bed that's usually at the back of the van here, and you've got this kind of units down the side. Now this is all boxed in usually. I've had to take it all apart to be able to fit all the electrics in here. I'll show you that in a minute. I've also fitted this diesel heater down here, and there's a reason for the tank being diagonal like that. I know you're going to get a bit more diesel trapped at the bottom there. I know that. Bear with me, I'll explain that. So, the day one I was here, I installed this leisure battery, and I installed all the units here. Let me put a light on so you can see. I've still got to tidy up the cables a bit, make them a bit neater, but I've got a positive and a negative bus bar down there. The two blue Victron, the Orion, DC to DC, and the solar charge controller, they've each got their own breaker. The solar cables go up there. That's also got their own breaker up there. I still need to neaten up all these cables, like I said. A breaker here for the fuse box. These are all what was here before, all these cables here. I've just chucked them back on the fuse box for now. Yeah, like I say, I fitted a diesel heater which fits nicely between the rock and roll frame and the unit once the rock and roll bed is back in, and the diesel heater is here. The solar panels, it's a 160 watt solar panel on the roof. Yeah, I'm still trying to I've got to sort these wiring out a little bit more, but I want to start putting it all back together now, so I wanted to just give you a bit of a film before I start covering all this up. Yeah, so I'll neaten up these cables and then start putting it back together, and then I've got to do some switches, wiring on the back of this switch panel. I've got ceiling lights and lights above the kitchen area here, but I want to put one of these switches to the volt reader and one of the switches to the USB things, so that they're not on all the time. You don't want them on all the time. So anywho, let me start tidying up these cables, putting the van back together. It was a mission to get that rock and roll seat out. I had to take the spare wheel out and the plastic casing off that's behind the spare wheel. It was a mission to get this rock and roll bench seat out, but it's done now. So I put this the front back on this cupboard, and I can start tidying up. I think it took me like most of a day to take this van apart. So yeah, tidy up the cables, put this front back, mess around with them switches, chuck some diesel in the diesel tank for the heater and test fire the heater, fit the rock and roll bench seat back. I'll see you guys in a minute. Okay, so I've put the rock and roll bed seat back. The reason for the diagonal diesel tank is because if it wasn't diagonal, it would be really difficult in this position to fill it up. So at least in diagonal, you know, it's nice and easy to fill up at a petrol station. But yeah, if the spout was here, you couldn't do it because of the rock and roll bed, and if it was in there, likewise, you still wouldn't be able to do it. So that's why it's done like that. So yeah, you'll get a little line of diesel at the bottom here, which won't get drawn out, but as long as you keep it, you've still got 9.5 litres probably in there. So you can see the diesel heater is nicely tucked in beside the rock and roll bed unit. Let's go around. So there, it's a nice 5 kilowatt diesel heater. That's going to keep this van toasty. And I've got to fit the display, which is here. I'm going to fit the display on the side of this wall here, and I've got to sort out all this wiring now. Right, rock and roll seat is back, unit's done, diesel heater display is on the side there. We're about to try it out now. I told you the diesel tank for the heater was mounted diagonally, and I'll show you why. Because now the rock and roll seat's in, it'll be very difficult to fill it up, so that's why it's diagonal. I'm going to chuck some diesel in there now, see if I can get the heater working. Heater's firing up. So this is a new type of display. I've fitted 3 of these displays now. I don't know why they keep changing, but to prime okay, it still sounds funny while it's still got air in the system. I don't know why they keep changing these displays, but if you get this type of display where you adjust the temperature on this line at the bottom, to prime it you just hold the down button. That's how you prime it, and switch on just the pump. Gonna leave this to burn for another, oh, we'll get smoky. Woo! perfectly normal. If yours smokes on the first turn on, first burn. Over priming or extra, or, you know, combination of air in the pipes and over priming it can do that, but it's perfectly normal. It'll clear after 5 minutes. Woo, it's pretty warm in here now. The customer's going away in 2 days in the van. He's going to stay away in the van, so I'm sure he's looking forward to getting a heater, to having the heater working. But yeah, I think we're done here on this job. Hopefully another happy customer. It's quite cozy in here actually. I'm not usually one for a smaller van. I mean, the amount of times I've bashed my head in here because I'm not used to a smaller van. But when you're sat down, it's quite cozy. Anyway, thanks everyone for watching. Hope you like my silly hat. And I'll see you next week in next week's video. Bye!